Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles, where I try and show you the fun that can be had exploring the logic in variant Sudoku. Today I'm going to be doing what is basically the most popular variant in the Sudoku community, which is a fog puzzle. And this is a dynamic fog puzzle, and this has a fair bit of rules in it. So above I've put a summary of the rules. The description below will have the full rules, as will the puzzle link, and I'm going to go through them. This could take a bit of a while to go through the rules, so I'm going to jump straight into it. Sort of. So this is Escape the Foggy Lair by PhoenixAki, and this is a sequel to another puzzle which I did do on the channel a while ago, and I will provide a link below to the video where I did solve the previous puzzle, Caged by a Secret Killer. So first of all, in the description of the puzzle, it says, sequel to my first puzzle, Caged by a Secret Killer. You've started your escape from the secret killer, but have found yourself in a new area shrouded in fog and lying pathways. Those three in the corner cages seem suspicious. Have they betrayed you after all this time? So now I'm going to get straight into the rules, because this could take a bit of time. Now, the first thing I'm going to go into after the normal Sudoku rules is I'm going to jump to the fog, because people have questions about it if they haven't seen it. So normal Sudoku rules apply. In every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. The next thing I'm going to cover is the fog, even though it's the next thing that it's not the next thing listed, which is the grid is mostly covered in grey fog. Placing correct digits will progressively clear away from the fog in the grid, at a minimum under that cell and often in other parts of the grid as well. So this is dynamic fog. Some cells have green arrows on their edges, corners. These are purely cosmetic. Okay, so there may be green arrows in corners or edges. They're cosmetic and we can ignore them. Okay, fine. Well, they're not to do with the solve. But if we were to place a digit here, it will reveal the fog in that cell, but may reveal fog somewhere else as well. Okay, now, cells in dotted line cages must sum to the number in the top left corner. So these cages sum to 28, these to 11, that to 3, that to 3. There's a problem here, but I know we'll get to that. Adjacent digits on green lines must have a difference of at least 5. And we can see this green line will go into this cell, and this cell. So there's at least a 5 difference between those, and between these two. There might be other green lines, I don't know. Adjacent the rules are all in a wall of text, which means it's hard to keep track of where you're up to, and it might be easy to miss a rule, because this is why I normally bullet point my rules, because it's easier to read a bullet point. Thin grey arrows must sum to the digit in the attached circle. So thin grey arrows, I'm assuming it's normal arrow rules. So digits that you place on a grey arrow must sum to the digit in the attached circle. So somewhere in here there may be an arrow, and say there was an arrow that filled those 3 cells, and with the circle here, the sum of those 3 would go onto the circle. Cells connected by a black dot must have one digit be double the other. So if there was a black dot here, between these two cells, then there would be one of those digits would be double the other. Cells connected by an X or V must sum to 10 or 5 respectively. Okay, the respectively helps. So if these two cells were connected by an X, they'd have to sum to 10. If they were connected by a V, they'd have to be 5. Thick grey lines are thermometers, which require digits to increase from the bulb end. So if there was a bulb here and a grey line that did that, then this digit would be higher than this digit would be higher than this digit would be higher than this. Basically, if there is a thick grey line with a bulb at one end, as you move along the thick grey line, digits must always go up. And then there's the fog. Now, there's also some cells have green arrows on their edges, corners. These are purely cosmetic. Then we have the new rule. Purple lines are liar lines. Cages touched by a liar line may or may not sum to their given total. The number of lying cages per liar line is specified by the grid's central digit, row 5, column 5, which must be deduced. Liar lines do not branch or cross each other. If a cage is touched by a liar line, all cells of the cage will be touched by the line. Okay, so if a line touches a cage, then every cell in that cage must be touched by the line, and the number of lying cages on the line is the number of... So if this was a 3, there would be 3 lying cages on this line. Okay, They're the rules of the puzzle. I've put the rules about the cosmetic arrows and the Lair lines above. Everything else is standard rules. So I've detailed what the rules are in the summary above and said that all the rules are standard. I will put the full rules in the description, and the puzzle contains the full rules. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. Now, there's only 4 cages. Well, there's only 4. Why are you doing that? There's only 4 cages on this line. So this has to be a low digit, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Now, German whisper lines. First of all, you can never put a 5 because these must have a difference of at least 5. They're German whisper lines. So on a green line with a difference of at least 5, with this being 1, 2, 3, or 4, because it has to be, if this is a 1, I have to go up. I can't go down, even with 4. If I minus 5, the next digit's negative, which isn't a Sudoku digit. So all of these must be going up from the 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I add, even from the lowest digit, at least 5, right, I have to go up. But this can't be a 3 because there's 3 digits in the same box that have to go up. But if I add 5 to 3, the minimum would be 8, and these would have to be 8, 9, and 10, which doesn't work. So this is a 1 or a 2, and these are from 6, 7, 8, 9. Because I could, if this was 1, these are from 6, 7, 8, 9. But there's 1 or 2 lying cages on this line. Now, one of these has to be lying, because I can't put 3 into both of those cages, but I don't know which one. Now, there's another secret I could use here, which is, this is an entire row of the Sudoku. And an entire row of the Sudoku is going to contain all of the digits from 1 to 9. And if I sum all of the digits from 1 to 9, you get 45. So that row sums to 45. And only 1 or 2 of those cages can be lying. What is the sum of the cages? Well, I know one of these 3s is lying, so I can ignore at least one of them. Can I ignore both? If I ignore both, these 2 cages would sum to 39, and those would need to sum to 6. Could I do that? Potentially. I could make them 1, 5 or 2, 4, and they'd both be lying. Can only 1 be lying? No, I can't make this a 1. If this was a 1, only one of these cages would be lying, and it'd have to be a 3. And then all of these would have to be either all of these would have to be true, or all of these would have to be true. So if this is 1, one of these 3s is lying, but then the rest of the cages would sum to 39 plus 3, which is 42, and the other one would have to be a 3 by the 45 rule, which doesn't work. This has to be a 2. Which means there's no 6 in any of these, because a 6 in one of these would mean that this has to be a 1. So this is a 7, 8, 9, but that gives me this. Now this is a V clue, which means those 2 digits sum to 5. There's no Lair on this, so this has to sum to 5, which means this has to be a 4. Now, there are 2, well, I can see if I go to my pen tool, this line continues into here and into here. This line continues into here and into here. Now, there must be 2 Lairs on each. So this is a 3-cell 6 cage, and it can't, because the number of line cages per Lair line is specified by the grid central digit. If a cage is touched by a Lair line, all cells of the cage will be touched by a Lair line. So I can see that this is a 6 cage that has to grow into here. So it's at least 3 cells long, but the minimum 3 digits I can put into 3 cells is 1, 2, 3. So this must be 1, 2, 3. This cannot be a 3. This must be a Lair cell. So I'm going to mark it as Lair pants on fire. That must be a Lair cell. It can't be a 3. The other cell can't be oh, it could be actually. Now, oh, hang on. I know what these are, because these have to sum to 5 and they can't be 1, 4. These are 2 and 3. So this is a liar cell, because it can't be a 3. Okay. So, well, this can't be, this is a liar cell. So these aren't. So these do have to sum to 6, because these do sum to 39. So these have to sum to 6. So they're either 1, 5, which would be 1 and 5, or 2, 4, but I can't put 2 in either of them because there's a 2 looking at them. So this is a 5 and this is a 1. This is very clever. So this is a 7, 8, 9. Now this green line goes into this cell, so I can continue to draw some lines. I don't like doing this with the green. I find it very dark, but I could see that this is doing this. So this is a low digit because on a German whisper line, well, this has to be 5 different from this. And if this is a 9, I can't go up because 7 going up, the minimum would be 7 plus 5, 12. So it has to go down. A 9 going down, 9 minus 5, this is a maximum of 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, or 4. And this has to be double. So if there's a few possibilities here, but the minimum this could be, it'd be 1, 3, 4, which is 8. So this is 8 or 9, and it has to be an 8, which I'll get to in a second. But the minimum this could be is 1, 3, 4, because I can't use 2. It has to be 1, 3, 4, because I can't put a 9 on this dot, because half of 9 would be 4.5, which doesn't work. So this is 8, this is 4, that didn't clear the fog. And it said that the minimum it would, and that can't be a 4. So I've made a mistake here. How? The minimum this could be is 1, 3, 4. Oh, no, I see where I've gone wrong. Oh, I see where I've gone wrong. This arrow could continue. I made an incorrect deduction. While the minimum this could be is 1, 3, 4. If this is the end of the arrow, this can't be 1, 3, 5. If this was 1, 3, 5, if this wasn't 1, 3, 4, the minimum it could be, if this wasn't 1, 3, 4, what's the minimum it could be? If I didn't include a 1, the minimum it could be would be 3, 4, 5, and this would have to be, this cell here would have to sum to 3, 4, 5, which is 12. If I include a 1 but no 3, the minimum would be 1, 4, 5, and the minimum this would be 10. These have to be 1, 3, 4. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 5 and 6, but this doesn't have to end the arrow. So this is either a 1 or an 8, because I can't put a 9 here. And the reason this can't be 1, 3, 5 to make that a 9 is I can't put a 9. So this is 1 or 8. If this is 1, this is 2. And if this is 8, this is 4. But this can't be 4. Because if this was a 4, this would be a 9, and this would be a 9, because the only thing that can go next to 4 on a German whisper line is 9, and both of those would need if this is 1, this is 2, and if this is 8, this is 4. But if this is 4 on a German whisper line, this would need to be 9, and this would need to be 9, and I've got 2 9s in the column. That's a 2, that's a 1. And that completes it. And 1, 3, 4 plus 1 is 9, which means this isn't a 9. This isn't a 1. There's a 1 in one of those two. I jumped ahead. I made an incorrect deduction. The 4 says there's no 4 here. That was incredibly clever, and I didn't do very well at it. This now has to be 7, 8, 9 because it has to be at least 5 away from 2. This is a Lair cell, and this goes up to here. This isn't a 9. Now, I can't put a 9 in here. In fact, there's a 3-cell 7 cage. This could be a Lair cage. I can't use that yet. So, but these are telling the truth. So I can't put 9 in here, because if I put 9 in the 11 cage, the other 2 cells would have to sum to 2. And I can't put 9 in here. There's a 9 in one of those 2. Where do I put the 8? If I put 8 in the 11 cage, it would need to be 8, 1, 2. If I put the 8 here, well, I can't put the 8 in either of these, or this would have to be a 1 or a 2. And if I put the 8 here, this would have to be 1, 2, making both of those 3. There's an 8 in this 28 cage. So there's 2 digits in here summing to 17. Can I put 7 in here with 1, 3? That could potentially be a 3. But I need to put another 2 digits summing to 11? Because I've got 17 already? Well, I can't use 9, 2, 8, 3, 7, 4. I can't use 5, 6. This is 4, 7, 8, 9. And there's no 9 there. That's really cool. And these are 2, 3, 6. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 6 quadruple. The 1 must be in one of those and therefore not there. And the 6 must be in there and therefore not there. And the 2 makes that the 3. And this is a 2, 6, which means there's no 2 there. That's a 1, 3. And that is the 2, which puts 2 in one of those 3. The 1 makes that the 3 and that the 1. Okay. 1, 2, 3. That's a 4, 7, 8. So this is 5 and 6. So 5 is down here. Five and 6 are both down here. Okay. This is a 7, an 8, or a 9 because it sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 2 is in one of those. Is this a 2, 3 pair? I can't put 1, 2, 3 in. Yeah, this is a 2, 3 pair. This 9 is in one of those 2. 4 is in one of those 2. Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? So I'm not sure about that. Oh, hang on, 4 in this row. I can't put 4 in any of those. Why can't I put 4? Because 2 and 3 has to go in here. I can't put 2 or 3 in any of those cells. This is a 2, 3. So I can't put 4 there or in any of those. I can't put 4 in any of those because this has to be 5, 6 because I can't put 5, 6 in any of those. And I can't put 5, 6. this can't be 4. Why? Because it's next to a 2. So 4 in this box is in one of those two. This is 7, 8, 9. That's a 7, 8, 9 triple. This is 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3. This is 4, 9. Meaning there's no 9 there. The 9 is definitely in one of those. This is 4, 5, 6. I'm a little... Oh, there's no 3 on these. So this is 1, 4, and 3 because of the 3 looking down. Now, ooh, this line is a bit interesting, isn't it? It seems to actually end there. So all of... Oh, this is a green arrow that's cosmetic, I'm assuming. I'm not sure why it's there. But there has to be 2 lying cages on this line. Now, the 3 has to be lying. I'm not sure about the 1 lying or the 7. Can this be 1, 2, 4? 4 with 1, 2? Those would both be 3. This would be... No, I can't put 2 anywhere in this cage. This 7 cage is absolutely lying. Because it has to be at least 3 cells. And the only way to do 7 is with 1, 2, 4. Because the minimum digits are 1, 2, and 3. And I'd have to increase one of those digits by 1. And if I increase the 1 or the 2, I end up with duplicates. So 1, 2, and 4 is the only way to do a 7. And I can't do a 2 in any of those cells. So the 7 cage is lying. There's only 2 lying cages on any line. So this line, this must be a 1. Which means there is a 1 in one of those 2 cells. Now this is a Thermo, and this is at least a 3. So it's 3, 7, or 4, 6, because it can't be a 1 because it's not the bulb of the Thermo, and it can't be a 2. Four is in one of those 2. Three has to be in one of these 2. 6 is also down here. This has to be a 6. Where's 6 in this? Oh, no. The 6 is looking down, making that the 7 and that the 3, which means this is a 1 or a 2, and it can't be a 2. This is the 1, which puts 1 in one of those 2 cells because of the ones looking into box 9. So this isn't a 7. In fact, this makes this an 8, which makes this a 9. I don't know what the arrows are doing. This isn't a 7 or an 8. This is the 4. There's no 9 here. I'm going to remove some lines I don't need anymore. I don't need that one or that one. I don't need that one. Okay. This can't be a 4 anymore. 4 is in one of those 2. Okay. So, are these restricted? They can't be 1, 2, 3. They can be 4, 5, 6. They can't be 7, 8. So these are only from 4, 5, 6, or 9. So 8 is down here. Right. I can't put 8 in these? I can't put 8 in these, and I can't put 8 in these. So 8, right, because the 7, 8 pair, there's no 8 in here, there's no 8 in here. 8 is in here, making that the 7, making that the 8, which makes that the 7, which takes 7 out of here. This is the 8, 9, so that's the 7. Now that revealed this arrow. 4 and 9 is in here. But that revealed this arrow, revealed this thermo as well. So that's 7 and that's 8. I can remove a lot more of this line. Now, what can go on this? So the minimum this could be is 6 if this is 1, 2, 3. I could make this 1 with 2, 3. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9. With the minimum of this being 1, 2, 3, making this a 6. And it can't be a 7. So this is 6, 8, or 9. But there are 2 liars on here. 13 and 11. Interesting. I think this is where I'm supposed to look now. How? One of those cages is true. How do I do an 11 cage? I can't do 9, 2, 8, 3. I could do 7, 4. How do I do a 13 cage? I could do 9. I can't do 9, 4. I can't do 8, 5. This would be 7, 6. Huh. Ooh, there's a black dot here. That's important because I can't put 5 on a black dot. Its ratios would be 2.5 or 10. That's the 6. That's the 5. 6 can only go with a 3. So this is not a 6. The 3 looks up making that the 2 and that the 3. This 3 means this has to be the 2 and this has to be the 3. I can ignore this 7 cage. These are 5, 7, 8, 9. So this has to be 7, 8, 9 because it sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 7, 8, or 9. So if this is real, it'd be 9, 4, 8, 5, or 7, 6. It can be 7, 6. I think 3 is down. This is a 1, 3 pair because 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. This is a 1, 3 pair. So is it what? I don't know. Sum of the column. What is the sum of this column? So we're at 12, 25, plus 11 is only 36. Is that right? 12, 25, 36. Yeah, one of the, but only one of these is lying. So if the 11 was true, the sum of this would be 12 plus 11. Hang on, that 12 plus 11, and I would need those to sum to 23. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 digits, the minimum is 28. The 11 cage must be lying. The 13 cage must be true. Because if... no, that is not true because this could be any digit. What about if these were all true? Remember, I don't know what that is. If these were all true, then those digits are... wasn't thinking clearly. If those digits were all true, those would sum to 20. 1, 2, 3... And the other two cells would need to sum to 20. Yeah, if these were all true, 5 That's 11. Yeah, don't think about this as a 3. Think about it as a 5. They sum to 11, plus 11 is 22, and these would need to sum to 23. And they would be 6, 8, and 9. I think I want to look elsewhere. This is not working for me. I think I need to make it work for me. I need to put a 2 in here. I think I need to make it work for me. I need to do something. If this is an 8, this is a 1, which I think it can be, and then these would need to sum to 7. They couldn't be 1, 6. They could be 2, 5. So to be 1 with 2, 5. I'm going to clear up this as a way of trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong. It is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6, 7, 8, 9. Right. Minimum these, this could be 7, 6. So the 4 is down here. The 4 is absolutely down here. If this is 4, 7, this is broken, and that works. I've lost it. I've completely lost it. If this is true, it's 6, 7. 6 goes in one of those. 7 goes in one of those. If this is true, it can't be 9, 2, 8, 3. It's 7, 4. So this is either 6, 7 or 7, 4. So this can never be a 7 is all I'm learning. But I knew that. It's got to be this arrow, doesn't it? If there's no 1 on the arrow, that becomes 2, 3, 4. This is a 3, this is a 2, 4, and it can't be. There must be a 1 on this arrow. If there's no 1 on this arrow, this becomes a 9, which is fine, but it has to be 2, 3, 4. Now, the 2, well, the question is, where do I put the 3 and the 4? I can't put a 3 or a 4 in here. So this has to have a 1 on it because I can't put a 3 or a 4 in here, and this would have to be the 3 or 4. There is a 1 in this arrow, and it can't be there. This is the 1. This is not the 1. This is a 1. What's that done for me? There's a 5 in one of those two. So this sums to 7 or 8. 7 would be 2, 5. 8. There must be a 2 on this arrow, mustn't there? There must be a 2 on this arrow. Because if there's no 2 on this arrow, the minimum with no 3 or 4 is 5, 6. There must be a 2 on this arrow, which means this is the 6 and this is the 2. And it's either 1, 2, 5 or 1, 2, 6. But it can't be 1, 2, 6 anymore. This is 1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 5 means that's the 8. There's no 8 in here anymore. There's an arrow here. What's that telling me? This is 5, 7, or 9. That is 5, 7, or 9. This is 1, 2, 5. So there's no 5 there. This is a 7, 9 pair. That's a 6. That's a 5. There's no 5 there. 1. Oh, the 1 is looking down, making that the 3 and that the 1. Does that arrow... This arrow probably needs to do all of that. But it doesn't have to. Like, this arrow could do something like 1, 2... maximum this could be is 8, can't be 7, 6, 5. This is 8, 6, or 5. No, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Yeah, 8, 6, or 5 only. I can't do 2 without it being like 1, 1 somewhere. So this is the maximum, only thing it could be. Now the question is, can I draw another arrow in here somehow? I can't do 1, 4, 5. I could 1, 5, 6 might be possible. So 1, 5, 6 along here, for example, and then 8, 2, 6 might be possible. So I can't eliminate any of that. One, 5, 6, 8, 2, 6. I can see 8 is down here. Can this be 1, 8, 9? 1, 8, 9, 6, 2, oh, maybe not. So 8 is down here. This can't be an 8 because this is on the arrow for here. If this is 1, 8, 9, this becomes... If this is 1, 8, I'd need to put a 9 in one of those two. Because to go 1, 8, and then the arrowhead would go to one of those two cells. This would have to be 5 or 6. Can this be 5 or 6? This would have to be lower than 5 or 6. It couldn't be 4. So if this is 6, it'd have to go 5, 1 somewhere, and it doesn't. So it'd have to be 6, 5, because it couldn't be 4, 3. 6, 2 or 6, 5. Couldn't be 6, 5 because it'd need to go to a 1. So 6, 2, 4 or 6, 3, 3. I don't think that works, but it's really hard to prove. Is there something else I can use? I think this has to be the 8. I can see 9 is in one of those two. So, because 9 can't be... This is a 7, 9 pair. Let's try using that. Because 7 and 9, 7, 9. This is 7, 9. So 9 isn't in any of those or any of those. So 9 is in one of those two. Eight? No. I don't like this. What's this triple? 3, 4, 5? And there's no 3 in any of those. That is a 3. This is a 4, 5 pair. And the 2, 5 is looking up making that the 4 and that the 5. The 4 looks up making that the 9 and that the 4. This is nicer. That makes this the 7 and this the 9. 9 and 6 is not 13. That's a liar cage. This now has to be truthful. And the only way to do it is 4, 7. I can't use 9, 2, 8, 3. I could use 7, 4. I can't use 5, 6. This is 7, 4. This is not the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is an 8. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. This is much nicer. This is not the 8 That is now the 8, and I'm much more comfortable with that. This is the 6, this is the 2. I thought that was how it would have to work, but I'm much gladder getting there the way I did. 1, this can't be 3, 4. It can't be 4, 5. It can be 5, 6. It can't be 8, 9. So this has to go 5, 6. There's no 5 or 6 in any of those. This is 4, 9, and the 9 makes that the 4 and that the 9. The 4 looks back making that the 7 and that the 4. The 2 looks back making that the 5 and that the 2. Much more comfortable with that. Just had to pay attention. The 5 is looking up making that the 6 and that the 5. This is a triple. 2, 4, 9. The 2, 4 is looking down, putting a 9 in the corner. The 2 is looking down, making that the 4 and that the 2. This isn't the 9. The row is missing 7 and 8. So those are 7 and 8. The 7 is looking down, making that the 8 and that the 7. This is 5 and 6. The 5 is looking down, making this the 6 and this the 5. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 8 go into those. The 8 is looking up, making that the 6 and that the 8, making that the 9 and that the 8. The 9 is making that the 7 and that the 9. The 6 is making that the 5. So this is a 4, 6 pair. So this is the 4, and I'm curious about what's happening with the arrows here. 1, 6, 7, 5, 6, 5, 3, 2, 8, 5, 6, 7, 4, 7, 3, 9, 6, 3. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. But I'll put the 6 in. As you stumble through the darkness, you've found a pathway leading your way to a secret trapdoor that only truthful 3 and at the only truthful 3 cage. Follow the green arrows across the grid to continue your escape. To be continued in hopefully less than a year this time. Took me nearly 40 minutes, but I had a lot of fun with that puzzle. That was really, really good. That was great. I loved it. Thank you, PhoenixAki. And yeah, I look forward to the next puzzle in the series. I really hope that this one gets sent through. I think this was a recommendation. It may have been a submission, but I'm really looking forward to what comes next, because I remember enjoying the last one. I don't remember the details, and this one was absolutely stunning. Loved the puzzle. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed this one. Hope you were able to work your way through the rules. Yeah, lots and lots of fun. Thanks, everyone. How many solves has this one had? Probably a lot. 455 in 30 days. So yeah, I'm sure we'll be able to get that count up. Thanks, everyone, for watching. As always, good luck with you. Oh, sorry. Thanks, everyone, for watching. And as always, good luck with your solving.